Okay. Hello. It's all about racial healing. It's all about racial healing, darlings. There's a lot of people in here today, just in this area. And so, today racial healing chapter, but I got like a few stories to tell for anything. So, after everything happened, it just so called happens. Like I told you that, Chris, I didn't tell you guys this part. Chris was like bombarded with people who were like trying to get with women that are prostituting at the shelter. So they come over and I don't know if he knows them or not, and I don't care because I actually just have respect for one of them. She is a wonderful person. So I got like true respect for her. And y'all already know, like, as far as like how they stop, they'll try to tell the same story. So it was a story about one of my parents that came to the school, and they was like they were trying to get her to act like she was like a prostitute or something. So they had her come in there and tell me that she can only work at night and she get off at a certain time and all this different stuff. It was like, okay, well, you trying to get this to seem like because of the way she was dressed, like she a hooker or something, like he was trying to be funny. So anyway, I tell y'all the story about the lady that came and she was like the crackhead or whatever. Yesterday, somebody tricked her into a car and told her that she was going home. So she went home or whatever, and she gave somebody's name. So she went home, and these people actually beat her. Like, they actually beat her. So it's like her face is like all swollen, face all scraped up, everything. And I'm like, why would you even touch this woman? Like, it's like she was already coming out of the hospital. The trauma that y'all would put us through. And so whoever is doing this, whoever these stalkers are, whoever's taking videos, whoever's doing whatever, who's ever trying to tell a story, they are actually stalking this woman. And so you see what I'm saying? This will end up on TV. Her story will end up on TV somewhere. And that's not where it needs to be. If y'all think I'm lying, it's not a lie. So today, I wake up, and a white stalker, her name is Stephanie. Now, she there, and she's always, like, trying to follow me, everything. So I'm just there brushing my teeth, which I do every morning. I brush my teeth before I leave. I use the water, because somebody is in the bathroom. And she walks past me to start an argument. What are you starting an argument with me for? So I go ahead and, okay, you want to start with me? It's going to be finished with me. So I start. I was like, yeah, like I'm brushing my teeth. Like, what's wrong with you? Everybody there know I don't argue. It's like peaceful in the morning. Only time it's like that is when you were hurt. So then we get next door and she's still coming over there with all this stuff. It's like you really do want some attention, and people are not about to give it to you. So I'm like, okay, good. Then you want to argue? Let's argue. Let's talk about why you stalking me. Let's talk about that first. Like, let's forget about everything else. Let's talk about why you were stalking. She couldn't say anything because she don't have her phone, y'all. All she could do, yo mama, well, did you kill her? Did you help them murder her or whatever? Because your brother is dead too. So it's like this story just keep it. This is real shit that is happening. It's not even a joke. So then when I tell her I'm gonna call the police, she gonna try to sneak in the back. What you sneaking in the back for when we really know you got cameras in this building? The only reason that you in here is so you can get information about black people, so you can try to give it to the people that write for TV. And why would you set this woman up? Like, why would this woman now be saying she's from Carbondale and that's where you from? Did you set the woman up to be beat? You see what I'm saying? So this white girl is still in here. But why is she hiding now? You see, at first she was going, well, I'm just going to stand out here and wait for the police. She big and bad. When I said I was going, when she saw me on the phone, she came back in the building and sneaked in the back. Y'all, I'm tired of it. I said, why are you bringing this to the city? Like, what are you bringing this to my city for? You see what I'm saying? But she's still back there like somebody playing with her. It's not a joke. Just, if you see how this woman was beat, she was beat to her eyes shut. She got scratches coming out of her face with blood coming out of her face. The blood is coming out of the swelling. And so she really do have to go to the hospital to see if she broke any bones or if they gave her a concussion or anything. And it's not a joke. Like, the woman is like the sweetest woman on earth. I don't care how she got there. I don't think she's the person that's doing any to her. It's actually the white woman that keep coming her. And she's not a woman, she's a girl. Her name is Stephanie. It's not a joke. Every freaking time. And how could that be connected in if you don't have anything to do with it? She got something to do with it. So also, when they sent the prostitute, they sent this prostitute over, and they think that I'm going to disrespect her, and I can't. because she's never done anything to me, and every time she does say something to me, it's to protect me. It's never to hurt me. It's always to protect me. So whenever she come there, I make sure I take care of her. Like, it ain't nothing that anybody can say or do to make me disrespect her, because she's not a disrespectful woman. She is a very kind woman, and I think she is like a really good parent. The way she talked to me and the way she helped me, I'm talking about out of everybody in that room, she like one of the most gracious people that I could have ever met in my life. And because she a prostitute, y'all actually want somebody to like put her down and holler at her and put her out and throw her somewhere and all that different stuff. And that's not the case. She had children, she took care of kids, everything. She named them. She named her children. If she can sit there and talk about how she named her children, that to me is one of the most beautiful things in the world. The way she speaks about them. You see what I'm saying? The names that she gave them. From the people that she carried inside of her room. If you mean to tell me you want me to disrespect her, and she probably a better mother than people with jobs and cars and careers. Are you fucking kidding me? So it's just some things y'all just shouldn't do. And that's all I'm saying, because I'm not about to do it. You can go ahead and fuck up your life. You can go ahead and put that shit in your head, but it ain't gonna happen here. You should have been trying to get Stephanie out of the fucking building. How about that? Be her ass. So I'm the only one that could call the police for anything. When she shouldn't have been getting calls, the girl actually thought she was going home. It's not that she wants to go out and smoke no crack. It's not that she wants to do anything else. She didn't want to have sex. That's all the stuff she's talking about. And you mean to tell me she had to get in the car with somebody that had to lie to her and tell her that? And then you don't want to give her respect. You don't want to give her respect because of something she did in the past. That ain't got nothing to do with what's going on today. She didn't deserve it. But y'all want to come and drop off a fucking coat or two. You see what I'm saying? You want to stand there with your sorority and act like and take pictures like y'all really doing something. Y'all don't be doing shit. Instead of them actually just trying to help her. Oh, she shouldn't have gotten a coat. It's like she didn't do that. And it was somebody there, a good witness, to tell me, hey, that's not what was happening. She was actually just trying to go home. Yeah. So yeah, y'all using this shit for the wrong reason. That's all y'all want is to destroy black women. And it's not gonna happen. They gonna destroy y'all first. Like I said, some of y'all sit and have fun or whatever you think is fun, and the rest of y'all life y'all end up in fucking penitentiary. So anyway, let's talk about racism. So racism is a prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is minority or marginalized. So what is going on now is, in this chapter, it's chapter 3, they're talking about when you first heard the word racism. And so, I don't know when I first heard the word racism. I don't even remember. Like, it's like, it was like maybe in college. I'm serious. Like, all the racist stuff that happened to us, we don't really consider racism because it's not a word that we used to use. Like, it wasn't something that we use. It just be like, they don't like black people. We just gone on with our day. I mean, it's just like whatever it is, So for me, that's what it was. For my mother and my grandmother and my aunt, it was something different. People with different colors, skin colors, is something different. But for me, that's how it was. Let me see. When did you learn about your racism in the family history? Now, that's the part that's important, because my grandmother would not look white people in the eye, right? My mother went through racism, and she just didn't like the way that people treated her at certain points of her life. So when my mother went through racism, it was like she was at what is this? She was at this place, like a nursing home, and it was a white woman there, and she was working there, and it was poop inside a bucket. And my mother hated this because the woman was like, if you don't put in the poop out of the bucket, you're gonna lose your job. And so my mom had to actually clean a shit bucket. She just ended up leaving. You see what I'm saying? She just ended up leaving the job because that was her experience with racism. But like I said, my grandmother, she was just like, she would not look like who and I. It's like, for what? Like, what the fuck is it? What's the difference of what's going on? I think that's probably why I didn't get a lot of, like, I think that's why I didn't get a lot of experience, too, when I was going through what I was going through, because that's something my grandmother probably would have shied away from if she could. So that stories are really prevalent to me. And then my aunt, her racism was more experienced within the community because she had darker skin. So it'd be like, well, her boyfriend was white, so her kids came out really light. And my aunt is like a dark person, so that was more inside of her culture, not outside of her culture. So that was something where it's like, whoa, my family history racist. For the most part, it's like even if stuff happened, like I remember seeing a sign in one part of like, I think it was KCville, like where it's like they still had a sign that said no blacks allowed. I seen that when I was little, and they keep saying, oh, it was dark. It was like a neighborhood. You could like go up the street. I think it's about McDonald's, and they had a sign up there that said no blacks allowed. So they can keep lying all they want to, but it was dark. So I think it's just that's just my family history. I don't know any stories about my dad. My dad is just like, fuck anybody, white, Hispanic, anything. Like, he don't care. Like, so he must have had a hard history of racism. That's what I'm saying, because he don't give a fuck about none of that stuff. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's just some people he don't fuck with. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and now I'm starting to really understand why I am. All people not the same, but it's scary to think that you're sitting here looking at somebody and they can turn their back on you at any given point. But it also happens in our race too. What did you learn about the history of racism in schools? In school, even though I went to a black school, they didn't teach us about anything like the riots or anything. I had to actually learn this stuff myself. Like even in high school, I learned about the East St. Louis riots and all this stuff myself, which I'm gonna get into now because that's my history of racism too. Especially since it's still prevalent now and they try to bring that shit back there and all this stuff. Like why they got this girl coming down there doing that stuff? So that's it. Like it's like that's why I'm really like get out of here, get out of this city because that's all y'all here to do is steal. So yeah, it's like why would she be there anyway? So in schools we didn't learn that, but we knew our history. We knew our black history, especially since you see like we had free lunch because of the Black Panthers, and we had black teachers that taught us etiquette and how to line dance and all that stuff. And all of that stuff actually came from our culture. Like I said, we went to the what is this? I was in like a oratory. What is that thing called? Auditory? I don't know. Like where we do the oration or whatever, you know, and we won awards for that. So it's like, we was involved in a lot of stuff in my elementary school. We used to have sock hops and everything, cake walks. That's what we used to do at the church. So I was steeped in my culture, like a hot tea. So it's like like I said, I love being black, and that's why. And it's like nobody ever had to mention the word black to me except for my aunt. She would just be like, you see, Santa Claus is black, Jesus is black, and don't let them tell you nothing else. So yeah, and it's true. So that's it. So then it says, what did you learn about racism in other places? So when I really started learning about racism, I was like in college, in high school, or whatever. And like I said, I learned on my own until I took a class. I took a course in school about, I think it was Black American history. I don't know. So I learned about everything there too, and like how historically it's just like white people with like rape and pillage everything. They have done it to every fucking country with dark skinned people. Anybody different from me, that's what white people have done. And so it's like, how could you get mad at Nick Cannon when he was telling y'all the truth? So that's the whole thing. It's like, that's what I learned about. And then when I started meeting other cultures and learning how racism affected them, that started to open my eyes up too. Because that's like, okay, well, not only black people, but Asian people, But Hispanic people, and it's like the way they treat us is so different because they'll take an Asian girl and it's like she is like a piece of candy to them. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody is like, oh my God, you know, let me worship the name. Just like, please do not do that to me. It's like they aggressively attack Asian women. Like, if you ever been in an abusive situation, it's almost like it's the same thing. Like they always like aggressively trying to tell you what to do or how to move, or you know, like like they're a living doll, and it's like, bitch, I am not. I know they're like, motherfucker, I am not a doll. Like I'm a real fucking person. So, um, even looking at Hispanic women and how it's like, now let's capture her, let's keep her here. You know, she doesn't know anything. She doesn't speak English, so we can keep her here to do everything. I remember my boyfriend's sister. She went through that, but it was like another minority group. It was an Indian guy, and he wanted her to get on her hands and knees and scrub the floor. And it's like, no, she like, no, I can do that with a mop. You know what I'm saying? And so she had to quit her job. Like, I'm not getting on my hands and knees and scrubbing shit. Like, this girl, like, I ain't gonna do that shit. So it's just like real talk. Like a lot of this stuff, you just be like, why would they do that? So it's so yeah, it's like this is not something that we need to be experiencing. So that was firsthand. Then her brother, my boyfriend, if you look at the picture, you would think he was white. So you think he's white, and so we would actually, people would discriminate against Mexicans in front of us, and it's like, he Hispanic. Don't you think he is Hispanic? Like he finna fuck y'all up. Like it's like, and for real, he that kind of guy. It's just like he don't look like that kind of guy, but he is that kind of guy. So it's like y'all, it just be like the different types of racism that I would experience is like out of control. And even me with Hispanic people, like I remember I go to the store, the lady's like telling my boyfriend's sister to watch her purse, and she's like, that's my sister. You know what I'm saying? And so, and you know I like to be this dark, so at all times, I don't care who I'm with, I'm be this dark. But yeah, it's just like I don't know. Like I just, especially if this is like natural skin tone. Like this is natural makeup for me. I'm still like, look at me, come on. So that is like what it is. It's like I just started being with different cultures and just experiencing. Even the Vietnamese guy, how you know how men want to dominate him too. Like they always want him to be the bottom because he is Asian. And you know what I'm saying? It's like always something with different cultures and different people about how they treat people, and it's like just a ton of microaggressions. And it's like, I want to protect them too because they don't feel comfortable with that. Even with gay people, it's like, I know it's about sexuality, but it's the same thing. It's like, no, don't do that to nobody. Like, that shit is uncomfortable. Bitch, I don't want to lick your pussy. Like, because that's all you want. In the end, you see what I'm saying? It's like, I don't want that from you. So it's just, I don't know. Like, that's what my history of racism is. So, they say racist ideas were developed by racist people. I think it's just developed by ignorance. Colonization is the practice of racism. It is because they feel like that they are the best, like they can take over, and it's like they never try to understand what's really going on. Immigrants are compelled to assimilate and become white to avoid discrimination. Everybody is. And it's not white, it's universalism. It really is. And black people have a part in it too. Like we have a part in the universalism too. Immigrants are often labeled foreign or a threat. They are, but mainly by people of ignorance. Like it's like, and since the majority is white, we think it's all white people, but ignorant people do the same thing to foreign people too. It don't matter. I remember I was at my sister's house and my friends from Zimbabwe, he started telling him, talking about he gonna pull out a spur, mess everybody up and all that stuff. And I was like, and he was like, you should have told me because I would have thought it was funny. And I'm like, I don't think it's funny. I don't think that's funny at all. You see what I'm saying? If you can't respect somebody's culture, then don't speak about it. And so that's been my experience, I guess, with racism. It says, next, Rachel degree of knowledge and having history of racism for various racial groups, which I just kind of went through. And it's like, I know a lot about various racial groups because I just have I just have various friends. And so they go through the same thing black people go through. Like all cultures do. We experience racism within our own race. We experience racism outside our race. You know what I'm saying? And so that's it. We experience jealousy within our race. We experience jealousy outside our race. That's why I say it's good and bad people. It's not really something that we don't need to fight. It's just good and bad people. And some people base it on color, and it's not really based on anything. So that's it. But yeah, that's why it's an important chapter, is because you really do want to look at and question, like, or see, like, where your history of racism started. And the reason why I go over this is because the East St. Louis riots was actually caused by this. And like I said, some of this stuff y'all don't even know. Like, it's like mainly because they did not have the same culture that we had. They were not as refined as we were. And you can tell by the history and the pictures and all these different things. And see, somebody is saying that too. We see that they actually have PTSD. East St. Louis is a city of people with PTSD. Anyway, the East St. Louis riots was like in 1917, and they just went and killed kids. They took all the factories away because the people were because people were very. Our grandparents are very refined. Our grandparents are very. How can I say? They just know how to live. And even after the factories left, they still did good. Because my grandmother still had money. My grandmother's husband still had money. It was just people still there, but they had businesses and different things like that. They had already bought houses and all this stuff. So they didn't lose anything. They just started either working in other people's houses or working in cars or going to St. Louis to get jobs. So it wasn't like a harsh thing. But then it was just like they left because they wanted our culture. You see what I'm saying? It's like they wanted the kindness and everything that was already there. So that's all I'm saying. It's like I'm looking at this, but I really don't. I'm not agreeing with that history because I've been told different. You see what I'm saying? I've been told different. So that's it, y'all. See, they just brutally beat and killed black people because of jealousy. You see, that's my end all be all. But East St. Louis, Illinois, that's where our history of racism comes from. Because it actually used to be white people there too. Like I said, because of jealousy, they closed down the factories. They did not tell the people that they were moving the factories, that they were moving, and just started moving and moved with the company to get the jobs that they moved. To get the jobs from the new places that they moved to. So anyway, that was just part of the history. Anyway, y'all, it's Shantae Brown Sugar Talk on the Black Man. I was telling you to never hate a hoe. And I'm telling y'all right now, it's not even something that's I'm talking about, but I never hate a prostitute. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Not a hoe. Hate a hoe, but don't hate a prostitute. And if a black woman is trying to get herself together, just let her get herself together. Everybody don't want to be out here sucking your dick, or trying to lick your coochie, or trying to eat your ass, and I'm fucking cool. You know, money even. A lot of y'all not even worth it. That's why you gotta put your hands on people in order for that to happen. See what I'm saying? It really do be some fucked up ass people out here, and they are worse than the people that y'all keep calling prostitutes or drug addicts. You see what I'm saying? Y'all blame them for the rest of their fucking life, and it's actually the people that want them to do the job for them that are worse than them. I hate y'all. Anyway, if you my enemy, fuck off. If you my friend, I love you and I thank you. And don't ever think I'm gonna disrespect a prostitute. But bitch, I will surely disrespect a hoe.
If you get after work, too many things come into play. You know, if your kids have events and you're tired and it's just like, but if you just roll out of bed during work, you throw on some sweatpants.
Well, only one of them can go with the two kids.
So they take turns.
Yeah, so they can. Works best when he goes. She goes in the evening. So, yeah. What do you say? She's going to have trouble. Certainly, more has only one's active now. The other one kicks in.
Mom, Daddy right now, they're in Somerset. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so there's 12 days. And then once Somerset, that's good in Somerset, but you're 4 days, double. So she's got 4 days.
Awesome. Gosh, they really work this well on it.
Backs and then baseball and basketball and ride, and it's always
Go.
And then I go
Why we're here.
yeah.
So, I'm gonna go do a class tomorrow. I signed up for yesterday, and I woke up and 5 o'clock, I'll be there tomorrow. I'll be there. I'm going to Tracy's, and I might be yours, I might not. Okay. Depends on how much I get done today.
Get it all done.
Do it again tomorrow.
You can buy this whole family for the 4th, so great place. Everybody took me for cash.
All right. See you tomorrow. I know. I would keep it, but I guess I'm gonna wait. Got her first. Okay. All right. Well, maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. All right. If I can get up, I can come to Tracy's class, but well, I'm up. I just can't get dressed. That's my problem. Should I come in my pajamas?
Yeah, you can. I mean, if I've got class, nobody even looks at anybody. Come in your jammies.
I know. Okay. Sorry. Oh no, I brought it in, laid it on the table. I guess this was bad. That was a good way for her.
Oh, yeah.
Morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good.
So what have you tried here that you really like?
What I'm liking now is I don't know. I think I might like the So I did like the flat. I haven't had a flatbread pizza in a long time, but I like the smokehouse barbecue. Yeah, that's like my favorite sandwich, and I like the salad too.
Oh, the salads are so good.
Yeah, the
I mean, and
barbecue
they're pretty
chicken.
too. They're
Yeah,
so
aren't
pretty.
they? My least favorite is the what is it? The green goddess.